Hey there, glad you're here. Today we're diving into a bill that could quietly become one of the biggest government moves in years. Trump's big, beautiful bill is working its way through the Senate right now, and it could seriously impact your taxes, healthcare, and especially your benefits if you're a senior. At the center of it all is something called a Vote-a-rama, a chaotic, marathon voting session where the Senate runs through amendment after amendment, all night long. Behind the headlines about border walls and business tax breaks, there's a much deeper story. Hidden in this massive bill are huge changes to Medicaid, changes that could hit seniors the hardest. One line buried in the 940-page bill could mean 11 million people lose coverage in the next decade. That's not a scare tactic. That's the Congressional Budget Office talking. Right now, the Senate has only made it through 14 votes in 7 hours, with dozens more to go. It's a political endurance test more than anything else. Trump is calling this bill the centerpiece of his second term. It includes permanent tax cuts, like eliminating taxes on tips and overtime pay, which sounds great if you work hourly. More money in your pocket, right? But here's the catch. To pay for those cuts and boost border and defense spending by $150 billion, the bill slashes over $1 trillion from Medicaid. And that's where it gets personal. Medicaid isn't just for low-income families, it's how a lot of older Americans pay for nursing homes, home aides, and long-term care. So if this passes, and Medicaid shrinks, seniors could see vital services disappear, even if their income hasn't changed at all. The CBO says nearly 12 million people could lose coverage. Some estimates put it closer to 17 million when you factor in state-level cuts. If you live in a state like Texas, Florida, or South Carolina, where eldercare programs lean hard on Medicaid, you could feel the impact fast. Even some Republicans are pushing back. Senator Tom Tillis called out the cuts directly and said they'd hurt 600,000 people in his state. He's not even running again. Trump fired back on Truth Social, basically cheering his exit. And it's not just Democrats criticizing this. Elon Musk even slammed the bill, calling it insane spending and joking we're all living in a Porky Pig party. Meanwhile, protesters outside the Capitol laid down symbolic caskets, each labeled with the number of people who could lose care in different states. It made front-page news in several cities. But healthcare isn't the only piece. There are tax changes too, like extending the SALT deduction, but only for 5 years. And the federal debt ceiling. The bill raises it by $5 trillion. That would push the national debt to nearly $42 trillion. Senator Rand Paul called it totally irresponsible, and said it'll bury our kids in debt. Whether you agree or not, the numbers are massive. Republicans are also using budget tricks, pretending old tax cuts are already permanent, so this bill looks cheaper than it really is. Democrats are calling that fake math. Cracks are already showing. Senators like Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins want edits. Murkowski even added carve-outs for Alaska, like tax breaks for whaling captains. Yep, seriously. Once the Senate's done, the bill heads back to the House, where things could blow up. The House version passed in May, but it was slimmer, without these extreme cuts. Some members say they didn't even have time to read the Senate version before being told to vote. Trump wants it signed before July 4th. Symbolic, sure, but symbolism doesn't get you 218 votes. If this bill passes, expect big changes, new tax rules, restructured healthcare, and a lot of fallout depending on where you live and what services you use. And if you're retired or planning to be soon. This bill could reshape your access to care, benefits, and support in a major way. So here's the bottom line, don't tune this out. It's not just politics, it's your paycheck, your health, and your future. Let me know in the comments, what part of this bill worries you the most? Or maybe there's something in it you actually support. Hit that subscribe button if you want more no-fluff breakdowns like this. And share this video with someone who needs to understand what's at stake. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay informed, and I'll see you next time.